Hey guys, it's week 7 of GenderBlenders, and just talk about coping with being transgender and not coming out. I guess start off by I'm starting my transition. I'm 40 years old and I just started back in December, and so a little over 4 months into it. I lived, all my life up until that point, knowing that I wanted to be, male, and that I was male. I was male inside. It's just, I went from just being the tomboy when I was little, and just doing tomboy things as far as playing sports and everything. Because when you're little and before you hit your teenage years, it's okay. And then when I got to be a teenager, I'm very confused, and I, still cope with it by different things. Like I still play ball, I still play softball, and I played my guitar a lot. That's the main things that that made it easier to cope with. I became a lesbian. I came out as a lesbian, which most trans people do, most trans guys do, and I really didn't feel like a lesbian. I didn't feel that that's what I was, and that was made it easier to cope with. When I came out as a lesbian to my parents, it was really hard, and I seen what it did to my mom at that time, and I was 16 or 17, and it really was hard for her. And she's old school, and she's never been around that. Just didn't, not in her day. It was just not heard of to her, and so it took her a while, and it took her some time to really cope with the point that I was a lesbian, I was gay. And so when I finally, I didn't really know much at that time about transgender. I didn't know much at all, but I was, knew I just wish I was, man, I wish I could be in my brother's shoes. I wish I could. I like the way, I ain't got to worry about anything. If I was a guy, I was just, I could be so free. I felt like my inner spirit could be free. I don't know if that makes sense, but I stayed that way as far as led the lesbian life. I only really had a couple of serious girlfriends, and one I stayed with for 12 years. And not that it was, she's a good-hearted person, I guess, but, and the reason why I stayed so long was, didn't want to change where I was at, because everybody knew that I was a lesbian then, and I was scared if I told people what I would have to go through, the drama, not thinking about myself, how I would be feeling so much freer and so much happier, but worrying about the way my parents would see me, would it, not wanting to hurt them, and so I coped with it by just staying with her with no change. And it was like it was just a bad situation all the way around. I mean, don't get me wrong, the relationship wasn't that bad, but it was just that, I gained weight. I forgot about sports because I hurt my knee, and after about 7 surgeries, I decided that the hell with sports, just hell with everything, just to hell with this life type of deal. And I wouldn't say I was really suicidal, but at points and times I was. And then I moved closer to my mom at the beach, and still being lesbian, she was fine with it at this point, and I'm in my 30s, or in my 20s, one or the other. And so we were getting along great, and doing things together like we were so close. We're still close, don't get me wrong, we're still close. But that was one of the things that helped me cope with it too, because just the closeness that I had with my parents. And then, we would, I decided that I wanted to get in shape, and so I started the Body for Life program, years ago, and I did really good on it. And the only thing is, when I got through with it, I looked so small and like so feminine looking, basically, is the way most people were taking me, and I didn't like that. I mean, I wanted to bulk up, but instead, all the weights I lifted, I was getting smaller, because I knew that I could bulk up, still, but I just didn't do it. Anyway, then, to please my mom, I would do things like wear makeup, when I went and bought clothes, I wouldn't buy the guys' clothes and buy what she would want me to buy most of the time, even though sometimes she wasn't with me. It's the point that that's how much I like to see her happy and please her. I wasn't living my life for me. I was living it for her, my girlfriend at the time, and just society in general. And it got hard. It got really hard. I used to get on the internet and research this. Nobody even knew. It just didn't come out. Well, finally I met my Christy, my girlfriend now, and we've been together as of April 1st will be 5 years. I think that's right. But anyway, I just started telling her, when something come on TV about somebody being transgender, and and she said, she asked me why I got quiet, and after we watched it and everything, she said, your whole mood changed, and and I was like, nah. And I said, that's me. You just watched. That documentary is about me. I said, that's what I feel like. And she goes, well, what's stopping you? And threw me for a loop, because she was supportive. She says, I don't care what you are. I love who you are. I love you. I don't care what genitals you have. I love you. And so that was a start, but I told her I never could do it not unless my parents were deceased. I said, not want my parents to be deceased, I just couldn't hurt them. And she would say, your parents will come around because to see you happy, that's all they want. They want to see you happy. So I thought about that, and she said, but don't do it because I said anything. It's just that she was right. They want to see me happy, even though they're struggling, right now, still. But they come a long way in this little bit of time. It's only been a little over 4 months, and my mom's already starting to try to call me Jaden, and my dad, he's not calling me anything, but he's not disowning me either. He's calling me Wendy still, but he's not disowning me, so, and he still cuts up. He still is, he's happy-go-lucky with me. It's just, he's being the same person he was, even though we went through this time where I was trying to cope after I told him, and the way that was, I was avoiding him. So, I guess just playing the guitar, reading was some of the ways I coped too, and just living inside myself. I guess that's about the only way I can say I really coped. You need to find a way to cope with it, because it can get real depressing, and when I say, if you're young, or even if you're old, come on out. Tell your family, because it's like a relief. Now, if you're under their roof, I can understand not wanting to tell them right away and stuff like that. But go ahead. Don't waste as many years as I did, because I'd have been a whole lot happier a whole lot sooner. And I think it was Charles or somebody on one of the YouTube channels saying, go ahead and come out and tell them, because they're going to hurt whether you tell them today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now. They're going to hurt. But you can start, from that point, start, building the relationship back to where it should be. So, I don't know if that's helped anybody, but any questions, shoot me a comment, shoot me a question. I'll be glad to get back with you. Alright, until next time.